Boxing King Media in association with Boxro here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, should I say, with Roman Fury. Roman, you've been here for a few days now. How are you finding the city in itself?
I'm absolutely loving it. I've never been treated. The whole team hasn't ever been treated as good. As we have over here in Saudi. Prince Khalid's looked after us. We've stayed in the best of hotels, had the best of hospitality towards us, and yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm taking it all in.
I've got to ask you, from being from the Western culture, we sometimes have assumptions about places, especially Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of assumptions about Saudi Arabia. Did you have any set of assumptions before coming here, and have they been corrected?
You can read things in the media, can't you, about certain places, but my motto is, only have an opinion once you've been and experienced what life's like over here for yourself. And I can only say positives. I've been completely looked after. Everybody here you come across is nice and respectful, and can only do the most they can for you. So yeah, I've only got positives.
Good man. Obviously, you're here for your brother's fight with Jake Paul. I want to quickly speak about yourself first. Initially, so I think it's been nearly 4 months since you last fought, and I think you've got another fight date coming up on the 11th of March. Why has there been a 5 month gap between your last fight and your next one?
Yeah, I was supposed to fight again in November or December, I can't remember, but I ended up going to watch Tommy in Dubai. I thought that would be a good experience for me. So I went over to go and watch him, and then obviously there's been no boxing until February, and I was going to be fighting on the February 25th, but obviously again it's massive fight with Jake Paul, so I've obviously come over here. But yeah, March 11th, that's the next one available, and that's what I'm on. And then after that, many more fights this year as well.
But we did, because I was there when you debuted, and we spoke briefly after. But you've gone away. You probably looked at the fight. What's the biggest thing you've probably learned about yourself as a fighter, and just from that initial in-ring experience? Because a lot of people don't know you basically come from no real fighting experience at all, have you?
Oh, that's it. That's my first time in a ring, and prior to that, I've only done a year's actual sparring and fighting. So yeah, I'm still a novice. There's a lot to learn, but I think I handled the occasion well. Definitely looking back on it, there's lots of things to improve on, and that's what I've been doing in the gym. Stiffening up my shots a lot more, and not really rushing my shots, because you can throw a million shots, but if they're not thrown properly, they're not going to have the same effect as one good shot thrown. So that's what I've been practicing on in the gym with the guys, slowing down my work and throwing proper shots, maintaining my composure, and yeah, I can't wait to show everyone how I've improved again.
And your training situation, I know you train with Jimmy as well, and you train with your dad. Have you got like a set training place, or are you kind of just doing as much learning you can from different people?
Yeah, so this training camp I've had has been completely different to my first one. Obviously, I was training with Jimmy, but he's in Doncaster. So I was doing twice a week with Jimmy. I go up on Saturdays for sparring, and then in Leeds as well with Nick Manners for sparring on Wednesday. But this camp, I've been in camp with Tommy, my dad, Bob Howard, and Alex Matvienko at Elite Boxing. I've had a full camp training 6 days a week, twice a day sessions, and it's put me on another level, because I'm getting the better sparring in like 3 or 4 times a week as well, and obviously I'm around very experienced people, so I've been getting it all around, and yeah, it's been very good for me.
I remember when you was warming up for your debut, and I got a really good footage of your dad doing the warm up with you, which went viral on social media. Obviously, from all your brothers, you're the only southpaw, to my understanding, and your dad was a southpaw as well. Yeah. So how are you finding training with your dad? And just tell me a little bit about your dad as a trainer, because a lot of people are like, there's critics out there questioning, saying, "Oh, what's John Fury done as a trainer, etc." So just tell us about what you've learnt from your dad, because obviously you've been around the gyms a while now.
Yeah, my dad's very underestimated as a trainer. He's been around boxing gyms all of his whole life. He's fought, he's been there and done it, which a lot of these trainers haven't done. And he's seen a lot of what different trainers have to offer, and he's kind of took what he finds effective, and he's got his own training regime now. And he's very knowledgeable, and he focuses a lot on training the mind as well, because you can be as good as you want, but if you can't handle the occasion and you're not mentally prepared for what you have to do, you're going to crumble, aren't you, and frail away. So that's the main thing I've been working on with my father, is my mindset, and just slowing the job down. You can overcomplicate it when really, if you get the basics right, which I need to do, that'll take me to where I need to be.
And talking of where you need to be, that was going to be my next question, so you've set it up nicely. What is your ultimate aim right now? Do you want to keep learning, go down that professional route, or if this type of thing got offered to you, like Tommy's got, fighting an influencer, it's still classed as a professional boxing bout, but obviously the money's stupid because of the names that they both carry. Would something like that ever tempt you?
I love boxing, and for the time being, I'm going down the professional route for the titles. But obviously, if a good fight like that got offered to me, I'd take it with both hands, just like any person in my situation would. It's fantastic money. It's great exposure as well, because you're bringing in different audiences, not just the pure boxing fans that is going to learn to know your name. So of course, any fights like that, I'm looking to get as well. But until they come, I'm just going to keep building myself, learning on the job, getting these good fights in with these experienced men, and yeah, just keep going like that.
So if Logan Paul rocked up on Saturday night and said, right, I want his brother, I want some smoke.
He'd get smoke 100%. I've already offered him out. I'd fight him in a heartbeat, So yeah, Logan, if you've got the balls, come and see me.
Good stuff. I might just title a video of that as well. So let's talk about your brother, Roman. So how's this camp been for your brother? Again, he's carrying a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and it's probably going to be the most common theme and common question he's going to be getting asked this week, because obviously you've seen all the comments people are saying, oh, he's going to get left behind in Saudi if he loses, he's not welcome back. We all know it's talk, but the, the hidden meaning behind that is you can't afford to lose.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, even the media's jumped on it. Put as much pressure as humanly possible on him. But he knows in his mind, and I can see it, and my father can see it. Everyone around it can see that he knows he's won this fight already. He's been in training camp with 10 times the fighter of Jake Paul, more experience, really good lads, and he's been destroying him. I've seen him. I've been there every day with him. So. And his mind's right now. So listen, he can have all that pressure. He knows what he can do, and he's going to do it on the night. So it means nothing, doesn't it? That's it.
With regards to his last couple of fights, because people have been heavily critical of his last couple of fights. I know he fought a 10-1 or maybe 10-0 guy in his last fight. He went the distance. Could there be an element of maybe deliberately not overperforming, just so to make sure he gets this fight?
Yeah, well, his last fight was just an exhibition, He wasn't throwing his punches properly, not with any intent behind it. And if Jake Paul's looked at that and thought, all right, if this is what I'm going to get on the night, then you fell right into the trap, haven't you, Mr. Jake Paul? But he even said it. I was in London with him. He came face to face with Jake Paul, and he said a couple of bad performances have got me here. So everything works out for a reason. And there's been some fights where Tommy hasn't performed, but that's not down to him as well. The Anthony Taylor fight, which is probably another fight which Jake Paul's looking at. It's awkward against a smaller man who doesn't come to fight. He came to survive, and it's hard to look good to go against those types of people. But on this night, he's not going to leave no stone unturned. He knows, everybody knows, this is the make or break for Tommy Fury. If he does this and in style, it catapults him, into superstar status. So this is what he's going to do.
It's a valid point about Anthony Taylor, because we saw Idris Vego struggle to look good against him, because I was there ringside, so similar sort of reason there. With regards to it being an exhibition, Tommy's last fight, could that work against him as well? The fact that obviously Jake's last few fights, the guys have come to to beat him, and obviously coming in off an exhibition, or do you think the work in the gym will kind of cover that?
Yeah, 100%. I think the work he's done in the gym this time, the people he's been in the gym with, he's going to, override anything that Jake Paul's been in with. Because no offence to these people, but he's never been in with a boxer, an experienced boxer, a young boxer, a hungry boxer. He's been in with, MMA guys, and yourself, just like Anthony Taylor, they're awkward, but they're not real boxers. And it's different when you're fighting a real boxer. So, yeah, Tommy's fully prepared, and he's not going to let anything like that get to him. He's going to be ready, hot on the night. He's looking sharp now. He's ready to fight any day now, tomorrow if it came.
I'm pretty sure your dad and Tommy and yourself are probably looking at other people's opinions on the fight. A lot of well-known names in boxing are picking against Tommy, the same Jakes. You've been watching some of the stuff?
I've seen it. I've been shocked. Even Teddy Atlas, who's a Hall of Famer of the game, isn't he?
Dominic Ingle as well. I spoke to him the other day, and he thinks Jake's going to win, and he rates Jake for the win against Silva.
You know what? I can't. Are you seeing something as well that I'm not seeing? Because I've tried to look at it as just as neutral and of the all parts of the game, and I can't see where Jake Paul beats him at all. Jake Paul's flat-footed. He's not the most athletic. He's not the quickest. And then you look at Tommy. He's sharp. He's quick. He's got that power, and you can see that in his fights. He's never really put in a terrible performance, has he? And Jake Paul's fought these, novice boxers and MMA guys. So I think it all comes, in my point of view, from jealousy. For some reason, they're just jealous of the Furies and they're jealous of Tommy. You know, a young lad who's doing very well, who seems to have it all. So just let him carry on, and in just a few days' time, they're all going to have egg on the faces, aren't they?
I think that the way I can explain it, I'm trying to think now what to speak to. Adam Sallow's fighting on the undercard, and he was saying Jake as well. But I did say to him, like, their opinions, to be fair, were respectful. They didn't say it in a hating way. They were coming across as like, that's what I think. And they were basically basing it on the last few performances.
Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinions. You know, the last couple of performances was an exhibition, like I've just said, so he's not going to be going full pelt. And Anthony Taylor, who can make anyone look bad, as you've seen against Idris Virgo, is a very good professional himself. So everyone's entitled to their opinions. Time's almost up, and everyone is going to find out the truth on Sunday the 26th.
Yep, and there's going to be two very rich men leaving that boxing ring Saturday night. And just the last question on yourself, Roman. You took up boxing because we spoke in length just before your debut, and I remember you saying you took up boxing for mental health, to improve your mental health. So is that basically still your goal? It helps your day-to-day life and stuff, or are there other goals that are kind of appearing now?
Yeah, obviously I've had additional goals to that, which are on the same level as that. But me mainly now, I want to keep my mental health on track because that's so important. You know, you can be doing this training, but if your mind's not in your training, you're not going to be getting the most out of it. And it keeps me well, it keeps me happy, it keeps the stress off, the depression off. So yeah, that's definitely the main goal of mine. Why I'm boxing, why I love it so much, is because it just gives me mental clarity. I'm waking up every morning, I'm not thinking, oh, what should I do today, or I'm not doing something I don't like. I can't wait to go to the gym. And anyone will tell you after you finish the session, you just feel fantastic. So yeah, it's definitely keeping my mental health good. Obviously now, I want to win those titles as well. I definitely want to make a name for myself in the game, not just a brother of somebody. I want to make my own name and be successful. So that's what I'm working on now.
Roman, I wish you all the best. I can see looking at the size of your calves, you're putting in the work. So I wish you all the best, man.
There's no size going on them cars, I'm telling you, it's bad genetics.
Top man, thank you for your time.
Thank you.